Hey everybody, welcome to another episode, another week. We love our kids, but do we need to always tell them the truth? And I think we're gonna go from some personal experiences that we have, but also consult you guys. What do you guys think about certain situations or scenarios with kids and telling them the truth? Is it always appropriate to tell your kids the truth?
Definitely a strange situation to be in when parenting and thinking about, if your child asks you a tough question, one that you really contemplate, like, should I tell them the truth here, or is this something they don't need to know, which is you deciding they don't need to know? It's kind of funny because, if you guys know our kids, Ava and Alexis in Jersey, they're very inquisitive and talkative, and they're free to talk to us. Sometimes gets to the point where they'll ask something and it's like, I don't really know what to say here, or should I say the truth, or should I say it's not your business right now, or like, what do you do? Like, what do you do in that situation? Especially coming from a completely different generation, obviously, of how we were raised, maybe most of you as well,
Well, generationally, I think I wouldn't say there are excuses, but there are moms and dads or generations that try to excuse that they didn't have communication with their kids or talk to them or open up or promote honesty within the family. Like, they just didn't talk about things. I know when I was growing up, you just didn't open your mouth about certain things. If mom and dad were talking about something, like, you're not even supposed to be in the same room. So not only was there not honesty, but there was a demarcation between mom and dad and kids, and like, kids had this world and mom and dad had their world, but they also controlled and ruled over the kid world as well. But they were not allowed to get into the mom and dad world. She and her friend were having a conversation and Ava was listening in on it.
Yeah, it was, you think they're playing sometimes, but it wasn't anything harmful. I would never have a harmful conversation in front of them. But my friend asked, are you done? Like, did you want any more kids? As some of you may know, if you haven't seen that podcast yet, go watch it to find out really deeper conversation about that. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. Like, I'm totally done. I said Jersey was supposed to come naturally, but when he didn't and I had to have a C-section, I told the doctor, hey, since you're down there, let's go ahead and make things not happen anymore. Mm-hmm. I was like, and I guess that part didn't hit her, but then I said, because I don't want there to be any accidents. Like, I don't want to accidentally find out, oh my gosh, we're going to have a kid. And that one, she was like...
So she's just kind of listening, but you didn't know she was listening.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
She was like, well, how can you accidentally do the baby making dance? Like, how would you accidentally do that? I'm still literally dancing around that question of how are babies made. I'm still telling them the baby making dance.
If you guys aren't sure what she's talking about, a long time ago when we had Jersey, our son, the girls who were like 3 at the time, 4 at the time, wanted to know how babies are made. And you cleverly said the baby making dance. Because at this point, they've been influenced over years of like, that's how you make a baby, right? So how do you accidentally do it?
Yeah, she's like, well, how would you accidentally do that? And I was just like, oh man, here we go again. I didn't step in it. So in that situation, like, that is an ongoing, I guess we have to say, lie. It's not a lie.
Yeah, but it's a great lie, because it's like in 8th grade or 6th grade, whenever they find out how babies are really made, maybe 5th grade.
It's like 6th or 7th grade you find out.
Yeah, teachers out there, when you guys teach sex ed, I guess.
I really do think it's like 6th or 7th grade, if I remember correctly.
So that is a lie. Babies are not made by the baby making dance. We all know how babies are made.
It is kind of a baby making dance.
Yeah, it is dancing. You're kind of moving around. Okay, anyhow, you guys know what we're talking about. I hope so.
Some of
you, I know some might be virgins out there. They don't know what.
They still know.
Well, you don't experience it. Try to at some point. Meet somebody. Tender.
In order to say you're a virgin, you have to know what not being a virgin is.
Right. So anyhow, that's not what.
This is.
Yeah. At some point, our kids will have sex ed, and they're going to learn that babies are not made by the baby making dance. They're going to learn how babies are made, and they're going to come to us, and they're going to say, "What are you talking about? The baby made? We learned today how babies are really made." I'm going to be like, I got you on that one, didn't I? I got you on that one, didn't I? And they're going to be like, Dada. I already knew something was up. The same thing with Santa Claus and Easter Bunny and Tooth Fairy. That's why I love it, because at some point the girls are 8. I still have them believing in Santa Claus for maybe the rest of the year. But at some point they're going to be like, Dada, we found out there's no Santa Claus. And I'm going to be like, well, you're welcome for an awesome childhood that you believed in it for all 8 years of your life, that you had that fun, you could use your imagination, you could think about Santa Claus, because if you had that taken away from you, then you wouldn't have that experience. And I think we only have one childhood. Don't mess it up. Let's let kids have these awesome things that keep them young and innocent. Too many times parents want to have their kids grow up and tell them the truth about Santa Claus or whatever. It's like, no, let them have that, because once they don't have that, they never have that. Yeah. Once you become an adult, you're an adult forever until you die. You have one childhood. And so some lies are funny and they are inside jokes to parents, which I think are awesome.
Yeah, some are innocent and necessary. I mean, truly, just imagine being in that situation where she was just like, well, how would you mistakenly do that? And looking at me like, yeah. And I was just...
It sounds like Ava, too. She's always one lurking around the corner. Yeah. Listening to something she shouldn't listen to.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, maybe you're doing the 2-step and you actually, oh, no, I started doing baby making dance instead. Like, what... And she's looking at me like...
I think it's like game mode or something. Like you turn a mode on and then all of a sudden you're doing making dance.
Yeah, so she's looking at me like... So hilarious. You're telling me you could accidentally start doing that dance when you must do some other dance. And I'm just like, do you believe it? Like, do you believe it? Completely flustered. Didn't know. I was just like, okay, well, let's move on.
Yeah, so...
Luckily, she walked away. Yes.
And I guess it all matters, too, with age, too. Like, when we have 8-year-old and 3-year-olds, and at some point, kids find out things on their own, of course.
Peers.
But it is a very interesting discussion, and it's something that, we deal with within our family now. Like, I think about the kids all the time. Like, I just want them to know me, and I want to know them. So I'm always thinking about, have I been open? Am I honest? Am I asking the right questions? Am I present? Do I know what's going on in school so that are we talking about everything there? Because I don't want to miss out on that with them.
Yeah, I mean, I would even say just allowing them to be around us a lot, even when we're doing things, is them knowing us, because they're like, oh, this is what you're doing. This is what you're watching. This is what you wear. This is where you go. Just letting them even know that. Like, if my mom left the house and somebody came to watch us, I have no idea where she went.